Hey, Krystal, how's it going? My name is Nigeria Chambers of Big O Belt Media. It's a pleasure to talk to you today.
Pleasure to talk to you too.
Looking lovely as always. Killed it
Oh,
at the
thank you.
premiere. I figured you was gonna make a
Thank you.
statement today again.
Just a little something.
I see you got some. I think
It's
those are
power. You got to represent with power. Like you can't just come in like, sweatpants. I might be wearing sweatpants. That's none of your business. Okay, you can see me from from the chest up. That's all you need to know.
fair enough. I see you got the figs back there doing well.
Yes, lots of plants, lots of greenery, repping Brooklyn, you know.
So
Yeah.
I want to say, and I say to any character that obviously dies on the show, as a fan, even though the character dies, you're always part of the Power universe. Everyone gives your character endless love, whether you're looking on Twitter, especially if you're looking on Black Twitter. So Renee has been a very pivotal character, and I've been really excited to talk to you because I wanted to, whether you want to answer this in character or personally, I would love for you to kind of really dissect where do we see Uncle Marvin going forward now that you kind of equipped him with these new tools, you set him back into society. We see him as viewers, seeing him kind of turning the page here. But like, where do you see this now going? As far as this character is on the show.
Well, I definitely think there's two ways it can go. It can go either he is changed and he figures out how to deal with his grief, and there's seven stages of grief, right? As Renee would say, there are multiple stages, and anger is one of them. And so he can lean into the anger or the numbness or the forgiveness. But as I, you know, I, Renee, the therapist, would love to see him channel his grief and anger into something good and to
Yeah.
realize that this is not the life for him, that this is not for him, and that he probably needs to take Kanan and get away from get out of the situation. But for story's purposes and for the fact that they like to keep you guessing, I have a feeling that as much as Marvin was taking a turn and trying to understand where his anger and trauma comes from, I think that this is just a moment of him being like, see, this is how it is for us, and this
Yeah.
is this is how it's going to be, and it's either a call for revenge or a call for even deeper introspection. But
Yeah.
I really, as me, a watcher and fan, I can't tell you where they're going to take it because it could go anyway.
Yep. As I referenced earlier, Black Twitter has already dissected, say, well, this is what's gonna send Juke over the edge now. Marvin's gonna lose it. He's not gonna be how he usually is on the street. Something gonna happen to him, and then we know how Juke's gonna turn into a monster. I'm like, wow, could you imagine that your character could be one of the biggest catalysts as to what ultimately turns Juke into the character that we see down the line? It's kind of big. It's kind of monumental, actually.
Yeah, I truly didn't realize, especially watching the feedback and watching the show as it's progressed, and how many things even after we filmed it like changed and get moved around and all of these things that I'm just like,
Mm,
oh, I see what they did here and why they did this way, and to serve this purpose. It's always hard to like leave a show, but it was they always kind of had somewhat of a plan. But what they don't do is they don't tell you exactly the plan,
yeah.
until like the kind of endish of the plan. And so, it was just kind of like now watching all the pieces come together, I'm like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. And I see like what they're trying to do. And it sets them up for a lot of change. And no matter what, like he has these tools, right? So we'll see how he uses them in his favor or as an excuse for whatever, we don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So with that major cliffhanger from episode 8 going into episode 9, we obviously know that you two had been shot at, and then ultimately by beginning episode 9, we knew that Renee had been killed. What were sort of your personal emotions not actually having a death scene? Because the Power universe, if they ain't seen your body, you're still alive. So what's sort of been how you're taking that all in, not actually having a death scene, and how the conspiracy theorists are already out there?
Oh man. Um, Yeah, I've heard a little bit. My DMs kind of blew up a little bit about like you're not really dead and all these things. And I just want everyone first to know I'm not actually Renee. My name is Krystal, but I think I think that that's the point, to keep audiences on the edge of their feet and on the edge of their seats. Like I think that not having the death scene. And also sometimes it doesn't have to be. I think Renee would appreciate not having her death be like shown in that way. She's a classy lady. um and then also they can build out other narratives of what happened. There's also like more, there are conspiracies around what happened and what truly happened. So there's probably a bigger story there
Yeah.
that might be investigated. So who knows? Who knows if I'm come back as a ghost or a saint, or who
Did you
knows if
say
I'm in
did you say
hiding?
ghost? Did you say ghost? Is this ghost mother? Do you know how they are?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I've been a fan of your work since The Equalizer. She-Ra, also a show I was really fond of your voice work on
Oh,
that. Um, and
thank
and some
you.
and something I definitely wanted to make sure I threw in this interview before we wrap is that as a black male that goes to therapy, it was really beautiful to see your character and London's character have those moments that I think now invites more folks to be more comfortable to want to do so, where it's not an ultimate stigma of like, oh, you're crazy or what's wrong with you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's being able to go to these things, be equipped, and taking these tools out and being a better person to society. And your character, I think, really has opened doors for a lot of folks to be more considerate to it. So thank you for your portrayal of this character as a therapist as well. And hopefully we'll see you around very soon.
That means more than I could ever express to you. That means so much to me. So I hope that it does. And it also, there have been mental health care professionals that are Black and of color for a very long time. So it's time for us to take the time to heal ourselves and be the best, continue to be Black excellence.
Absolutely. Amen. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.